Well, first at 5 tonight, more fallout over a grand jury's decision to not indict a New York City police officer in the chokehold death of an unarmed man.
Eric Garner died in July after an officer put him in a chokehold when Garner resisted arrest for allegedly selling loose cigarettes. The whole incident was caught on camera, and Garner could be heard repeatedly telling the officer he could not breathe. In New York City, hundreds of protesters blocked a major highway. Others lay down the floor of Grand Central Terminal, while hundreds more poured into Times Square.
The protest started in downtown, but it didn't stay there. Protesters decided to march with their message from downtown to Wayne State University and back, about 2.5 miles in all. 7 Action News reporter Jim Kirchner is live with that part of the story tonight from Campus Martius. Jim?
First there was Ferguson, but now with this new New York City case and the video we're finding, it's motivating new people. They came here to Campus Martius downtown in the middle of the noon hour to stage what is called a die-in. That is the battle cry among the last spoken words of Eric Garner, the man who died at the hands of police in New York City's Staten Island, and the grand jury deciding no charges against police. Terry Ennis came down to downtown to help send the call for justice.
I think it needed to be on video. It still didn't change the decision, but I'm glad it was on video. It just breaks my heart every time I see it.
Eric Garner died a horrible, savage death. Every time I see a picture of his family, they're crying. It's hard for me not to feel for them.
The word about this protest spread the same way another protest did last week about Ferguson.
I heard about it at Wayne State, and I just thought it was important to come and show my support.
I'm here because I'm Palestinian American, and my struggle is the same thing as the black struggle. We are one and the same, and if we allow black civilians to keep being killed, then we will allow anyone to be killed.
It was not just college kids, but well-suited professionals who work downtown.
I got the message about 10 minutes ago, and I work in the Ford building right here, so.
So suit and all, you
no question about it, no question about it.
Police here told me they would move in only if the protesters blocked downtown business activity. There was no trouble.
It's more than Ferguson, it's an American problem. We have two different judicial systems here. We have two different legal systems. And as a result, black men are dying every day at the hands of the government, police officers.
And even though it's cold out here today, many of these protesters say they'll be back again as these rallies are scheduled. Live downtown, Jim Kirchner, 7 Action News.
Okay, Jim, thank you so much. Also, protests flared up in the last 24 hours in Denver over the grand jury's decision to not charge that NYC police officer. The demonstrations grew to about 100 people you see here, some arrested for obstructing a roadway. Police say force was not used during these arrests. And in Pittsburgh, protesters staged what they were calling die-ins in reaction to that decision. This is when protesters lie on the ground for several minutes. Last night, nearly 100 people filled the streets, the same night that U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder announcing a federal investigation into Eric Garner's death.
Changes are coming to the Cleveland Police Department after federal investigators determined its officers use excessive and unnecessary force far too often. Investigators say that has endangered the public and even fellow officers in some cases. Today, Attorney General Eric Holder said the Justice Department will help Cleveland reshape its police force to make sure that trust is restored. He said recent incidents involving police in Ferguson, New York, and Cleveland have shown that this needs to be done across the country.